The time is 6:30 p.m. and I call to order the regular meeting of the Premont Independent School District Board of Trustees. Trustee Peña, Trustee Falcón, Trustee Gutierrez, Trustee Johnson, and Trustee Barrera. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. This meeting will be recorded, and the minutes will be taken to document the proceedings. Audience members are required to follow the standard rules of order for conduct of a meeting, which allows audience comments during the open forum portion of the agenda. Please refrain from comments during the course of the meeting. Also, please silence all electronic devices. Now, will everyone please stand for the pledges to the U.S. followed by prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Remain standing for prayer.
Heavenly Father, as we gather for this meeting, we ask for your wisdom and guidance in all our discussions and decisions. Grant us clarity of thought, discernment to understand complex issues, and the courage to do what is right and just for our students, teachers, and community. May your will be done in this place. Amen.
Thank you, Trustee Falcón. Open forum? No, nobody. Okay, item 2, Lone Star Governance 2A. Action, consider and possible action to approve the December Goal 3 CCMR GPM 3.1, 3.2 percentages of graduates meeting TSI criteria, dual course credit criteria. Ms. Austin or Dr. Gonzalez?
Good evening, board, staff members present, and committee members. So we're starting off with goal 3. It's the goal referring to CCMR to remain at 100% by 2028. So the 2 goal progress measures are in relation to TSI criteria and dual course credit criteria. So just to refresh our memories, what exactly is the CCMR? So it's broken down into 3 categories: college readiness, career readiness, and military readiness. And what we're focusing on, or the TSI criteria and dual credit criteria, fall under the college ready, which is meeting the Texas Success Initiative criteria, earning dual course credits, meeting criteria for AP exams, and earning an associate's degree or qualifying for on-course credit rounds. So for our district in particular, we get our biggest bang for our buck in relation to CCMR with this college readiness portion of CCMR. So before I get onto the data, why does having a high CCMR percentage, why is it important for Premont ISD? So for state accountability, our rating, our district rating, it helps our campus rating and our overall district rating. So if you recall, we're rated on 3 domains: student achievement domain, school progress domain, and closing the gap domain. So this next slide, the domain 1 is student achievement. So CCMR is one of 3 student achievement components, different from elementary. Elementary only focuses on CCMR. So high school, they focus on the STAR, which is a component, graduation rate, and CCMR. So CCMR contributes to 40% of the overall score for this domain. So it directly affects our student achievement domain, which increases the overall rating for this specific domain. 40% is specific for CCMR. Graduation's another, I believe, Garcia, I don't know if you can recall that one off the top of your head. One's 40 and another's 20. So 40, 40, and 20. Domain 2, the school progress domain. So school progress domain, specifically part B, which is relative performance. So in this domain, it compares us to other districts that are similar in size and demographics. So if our campus has, let's say, for example, 95% eco-dis, we're going to be compared to another campus that's 95% eco-dis and the same size. So if we have a high CCMR rate, we'll get more points compared to that district if our CCMR points are higher than theirs. So it affects school progress domain, domain 2, school progress, part B. And then finally on domain 3, which is closing the gaps, it's a required component of the post-secondary readiness, which is the school quality indicator. This accounts for 30% of the overall score. So similar into domain 1, it's a percentage, so it's 30%. So having a high CCMR rate will give us a high percentage in domain 3. So it does affect having a high CCMR rate, particularly 100%, gives us all the points we needed for those certain percentages in those domains. So the next slide you will see is the actual data. The first row where it says complete all students, and before I go on with what it means, TSI criteria doesn't necessarily mean passing a TSI test. There's other components that fall under meeting TSI criteria. Meeting TSI criteria does include passing the math and ELAR component. Another criteria that can supplement this is getting a certain score in ACT, SAT, or the other component is taking and completing and getting credit in a college prep, math or college prep English course. So for purposes of CCMR, those 3 data points or those 3 components count as TSI criteria for the purposes of CCMR. So on the top, you will see complete. This is in reference to those that have completed either the course or both sections of the TSI test. And there's 9 out of 49 students, which makes 18%. So this is our cohort of current seniors. In progress, and the reason you see there's 11 out of 49 for math and then 23 out of 49 for ELA, it just basically, that's what it is. More students have passed the RLA than the math, and the TSI complete, it's 9 students that have passed both of them. And the ones in progress, excuse me, are those students taking the college prep courses. We haven't indicated complete yet because they won't be complete until the end of the year when they complete the courses and get course credit. If you can notate, because this is not in your slide, the next 3 rows, SPED, EcoGIS, and EB, these are the populations of students. We did have a board member request information on these populations. So this is specific to the TSI test. 2 out of 8 of our SPED students have passed both. 8 out of 37 of our EcoGIS students have passed both, and we have 1 EB senior that has not been successful.
And this data was just added, right, though, because it wasn't on a packet. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, there was a question submitted, so we figured it's not, I didn't answer the question on here, but that's why we're leaving a little time so y'all can notate that information.
Question 4.
And then below is 3.2, which is the dual credit. In order to get a CCMR point for dual credit, a student needs to have 9 or more hours and they get credit, a CCMR point. So in our cohort of 49 seniors, we have 25 of them that have completed 9 or more hours. And this, I didn't put the percentage, but this comes out to 51%. So the next slide does have the questions that board members submitted. So the first question was, with 9 out of 49 students who have completed the TSI requirements and 85% as our end of year target, which is 8 points increase from 2025, what, if any, strategies will be implemented or have already been implemented to reach the goal? So I did notate 4 bullet points. The board members, you do have that in front of you. We have additional testing opportunities on campus. TSI boot camp, which is it's a fall TSI boot camp, which is currently underway right now. It actually began today. It's through Full Mind. It's a virtual program. We have it going on Mondays and Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we also, like I mentioned earlier, college prep classes. We have students currently enrolled in college prep math and college prep English, so where they will get that credit at the end of the year. And then we also have after-school TSI tutoring that is being offered. Then we had another question, what are we doing so students can see for themselves how much this means to us as a district? So unfortunately, currently we haven't began this initiative in reflecting and giving students this information. However, we're considering student cohort meetings. We've already had a discussion with our campus administrator, Ms. Garcia, to share their data. Then the next question was, how are we getting students to participate? So like I mentioned, a lot of the bulk of the for CCMR points for us come with TSI criteria and college dual credit courses, which in turn is ECHS, RIS program. So we engage our students in family information sessions. It's going to be coming in February of 2026. We have those information sessions scheduled. And we also have an 8th grade caravan, which our 8th graders will get on a bus and go to our zone districts and go see the courses or the academies that they offer to see which ones they would like to join, and then they can take their dual credit courses from there. And then also we communicate this information through Parent Square and our website. The next question, do we have data for different student groups? And like I mentioned, we did put that information on the previous slide, which y'all just saw.
Dr. Gonzalez, I have a question on, since I know we're just getting this information on additional testing opportunities. Okay, the district has increased the number of testing sessions, right? I actually have 2 questions. I know I apologize for not having these questions before, but because I'm asking questions based on the responses. How many students are tested during a TSI session? When they administer TSI, how big is the group?
It's I would say a large group.
It's going to range between 12 and 15, 18 kids. Typically, they do it in class. So Ms. Everett teaches college prep math, and Ms. Rod teaches Ms. Everett teaches college prep English, Ms. Rod teaches college prep math, and they will typically offer those sessions in class. So it's going to depend on the size of their classes when they test. So about this time of the year, they will start to test students in class in those courses.
And how many teachers are monitoring while they're testing?
It's typically that one teacher that is in there. Now, if it is a specific after school or like we're doing TSI tutoring right now and the TSI boot camp, then they'll work as a team. So it'll be 2 or 3 teachers because the number of students will have increased. Like our boot camp today will be.
So the teacher is actively monitoring.
The teacher is supposed to be actively monitoring anytime they're administering an assessment.
Right. Yeah, those are the additional questions I had under the additional testing opportunities. I'm sorry, I had to ask. I heard something had occurred, so that's why I needed to make sure that I asked that question. Are we still on that, we're still on 3.1, right?
I went through, yes, I
Yeah,
went through all the
okay.
questions. So
That's all from me for now. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Garcia.
that was 3.1 and 3.2 combined, yes.
Oh, okay. I need time to read this. I need to read this.
And I guess my question would be, this additional testing opportunities, TSI boot camp, college prep classes, and TSI tutoring, were we doing this last year already, or is this new?
The boot camp that we're doing is with a different company this year, so it is, we did a boot camp last year, was not very successful, so we changed companies, so we are using a different company this year. So I guess that's new.
Okay.
And the tutoring, TSI tutoring, we typically do that this time of the year, and it's usually students, TSI determines whether a student is college ready for specific college courses. So, for example, in order to take college English, you have to be TSI ready. So when a student is trying to get into a specific course for the spring semester, they'll start testing in late October, early November, so that they are ready to take those courses which you need to be college ready. So that is something we have done. The after-school tutoring is something we've done.
Thank you.
Any comments before she continues? Anybody? Okay, thank you. Okay, go on.
Next, I don't know if we need to close out with
Oh, okay.
that
Sorry.
can to proceed
I'm
with
still
the.
trying to, and you know what, I think I'm having difficulty with okay, we have the responses here. So questions 1, 2, 3, and 4 on this paper are GPMs 3.1 and 3.2, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then questions 5, 6, and 7 are the next one, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is attendance. Okay. So, do I hear a motion for item 2A, the CCMR and TCMR GPM 3.1, 3.2?
Madam President, I make a motion for action item 2A, to consider possible action to approve the December Goal 3 CCMR GPM 3.1, 3.2 of graduates meeting TSI criteria, dual course credit criteria.
Motion made by trustee Gutierrez, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by trustee Peña. All in favor? Trustee Peña, trustee Falcon, trustee Gutierrez, trustee Johnson, and trustee Barrera. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 2B, action. Consider and possible action to approve the December guardrail GPM 5.1 attendance report. Ladies?
So our guardrail, it's not new, it's monthly. A monthly standing agenda item is our attendance. So our goal is to reach 93%. So if you see the difference between the campus, I did add on you all's slides because this data was due to y'all by week 15. So I added week 16 and 17. You can't see it on yours, but it's displayed for y'all there. The running average for our elementary is 93.30, 93.00%, and our high school is 92.12%. I know one of the questions was specific to week 15, but we can still answer the question despite it being specific to week 15. So that is our campus attendance. We have our elementary just slightly above the district goal, and our, our high school slightly below. Then we have our district, 92.69, so slightly below the 93. I did add week 16 and 17, so you can see.
Okay. 16, hold on. 16 is 92.4. 17, and week 15, that's okay, was,
92.
okay. 90.6.
Also, the next slide you do not have because we didn't have this data by the time we had to submit your information. So what we had previously done is taken our 2024, last year's December specifically, week 1, week 2, and week 3. In the first week of December in 2024, district, we were at 91.81. This year, we're at 92.94. Week 2, which was last week, as a district, we were at 91.83. This year, we were 92.56, so slight increase in each. And then we are currently at week 3, and our goal is to remain in the 90s. So we'll see how this week goes. Last year, we were at 84.29 for the week. It's also shown by campus. We had increase at elementary and then a slight decrease at the high school. So it's broken down by campus as well. But highlighted are the districts.
91. We'll take those slight increases any day.
So the next slide has the questions that were posed by board members. So the first 2 questions, we were kind of able to answer them with one response. So on your sheet, it's question 6 and 7, and the response begins on the back side. So it says, looking at the table, the district's 88 week 15 was 92.60. If the yearly target is 93, what are possible different incentives that may be put in place in the more challenging weeks during second semester, especially before and after spring break? And then in order to continue our somewhat upwards direction, what strategies are being used to get our students to come to school? So different strategies that we are using, particularly in December, that we saw, particularly in elementary, helped the increase. Daily short-term attendance incentives. If the students were present on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they got, I guess we would call it a stack. Chartwell's donated snacks, and that would happen in the cafeteria in addition to the weekly raffle. Is that correct, ladies? In addition to the weekly raffle. So that was different because we would usually wait until the end of the week to give them an incentive. So this time, if they're present on Monday, and the students knew this ahead of time. So, and I will also say, I know the elementary, they can be a little bit more creative because they're little ones.
Oh, yes.
I do know at the cafeteria in particular, I don't know who was in charge or tasked with doing that, but that little elf, like there was something silly that he would do every day. So the students would look forward to come and see what the elf was up to. I know one day he had done something bad and they had him like in a little milk crate, like if he was in jail or something.
It was an elf gel.
It was an elf gel. So just
Made it
different
best for
things.
breakfast. So.
And
Wow.
so the students look forward to coming to see
Yeah.
what was the elf up to that day. So thank you to Charles for.
Thank you, yes, those are, little kids, they love that kind of stuff, anything, that's good.
Yeah, they had cookie decorating, so they were decorating sugar cookies with frosting. Very PE, yeah. So
Wow.
they had fun, I guess. They had fun making a mess everywhere.
We want to introduce also moving forward is themed class-wide competitions. particularly around spring break. Maybe during spring break is traditionally March Madness, or it is March Madness, so it's a kickoff. So something to that effect, to build excitement and peer accountability. Student recognition, those that are here all the time through announcements, displays, certificates, potential board recognition. Excuse me. Host family engagement events before or after the break to strengthen the family and school partnerships and to support our attendance. And also consider friendly cross-district attendance challenge with neighboring, maybe risk zone schools, and motivate students through competition in that.
That's interesting.
So, just thoughts that our team and our behavior and truancy coordinator have come up with. So, those are in the works.
Those are some nice, those are some good ideas there. So would like elementary do something like, would it be like Premont Pecca versus La Gloria maybe?
Well, we hadn't thought about that. Pecca is doing perfect attendance in the 3 weeks in December. They have tickets if they're here. They go into a drawing, and we have nice prizes available to be drawn this Friday.
Oh, cross district, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's coming, like, that's
Yeah.
soon, that's hopefully next semester.
Yeah, okay, I
we need to
misread
pick
that,
up.
correct, cross district, okay. Okay, I like that. I really like that March Madness. High school kids, I think, really know that kind of stuff, right? That's basketball, right?
Yes.
Okay. Notice how I don't know what I don't. That's where even the president is really involved, right? I remember President Obama was like really big into the March Madness thing. Anyway, sorry. Oh, good things. Go ahead, go ahead.
The next question was, are home visits being done so root causes for not attending can be done? Yes, our family support team conducts home visits regularly and share the data weekly during family support team meetings. So we have home visits, if it's not our current liaison, Ms. Lily Rodriguez, going almost every day. Sometimes twice a day, just depends, every other day, just depends how the day goes. We get attendance, we know by 8:15, 10, before 10 for sure, who's not here. If they need a ride, we're calling, is it just a matter of you need us to come get you? They'll go get students. So home visits are being done every day. If there's if we can't get a hold of the parent and there's like at least 3 absences in a row, because sometimes it's handled through a phone call and we know like they can't come because they're ill, but they'll go after 3 absences and they'll do an attendance contract, and they'll say like, what do you need from us to help you get here? And it can be sometimes they don't have clean clothes, they haven't had electricity in a while, so they don't want to come to school because they haven't showered or whatever the case may be. So we do have cases like that, and that's what the family support team helps with. So I know they meet at elementary, they meet every Monday, and so these discussions are happening then. And then at the high school, they meet on Thursdays. Every other Thursday. So there is home visits happening, and the campus administrators are aware because they're involved in the family support team meetings.
Thank you to all of you, do that. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. I didn't think about this until right now. I know, and maybe I can't, but I know that there's an attendance thing now with our athletes, right? How has that helped our ADA?
I think our ones that were consistently or chronic are not participating currently.
It really is not. If it has helped, it has helped get athletes to come to school on time in the morning.
It has helped a little.
A little.
A little.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to know, has it helped with the ADA?
No.
Okay. Yeah, and that's something I should have asked. Okay, thank you. I really like these. Board members, any comments or any additional concerns with item 2B? Okay, if not, then do I hear a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion for agenda item 2B, which is to consider possible action to approve the December guardrail GPM 5.1 attendance reports.
Motion made by trustee Gutierrez, seconded by? Oh, trustee Barrera. Seconded by trustee Barrera. All in favor? Trustee Barrera, trustee Johnson, trustee Gutierrez, trustee Falcon, and trustee Peña. The motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Okay, moving on to item number 3, information reports. 3A, information, there will be nothing on this one, right? Okay. Let me go ahead and read it, but we won't have a report because this has nothing to do, let me read it. Report regarding the annual audit report for the year ended August 31st, 2025, as presented by Ernest R. Garza and Company, CPA. This is a TA situation. It has nothing to do with Ernest Garza. So we will bring this back to the board in January. Okay. Item 3B, information comparison of revenue to budget year to date. And Ms. Moreno provided the report. Are there any questions from board members on item 3B? Nobody? 3B? 3C, information district's cash flow report. That's the one that has the highlighted numbers. Any questions? No. Trustee Peña?
No.
Okay. 3D, information, first reading of local policy updates, and please excuse, but I do have to read all of these. Okay, the first reading of local policy updates. Policy BBD, board members training and orientation. BBE, board members authority. BBF, board members ethics. BBFA, ethics, conflict of interest disclosures. BBG, board members compensation and expenses. BBI, board members technology resources and electronic communications. BDAA, officers and officials, duties and requirements of board officers. BDB, board internal organization, board committees. BE, board meetings. BG, board self-evaluation. BJA, superintendent qualifications and duties. BJCD, superintendent evaluation. BP, administrative regulations. BQ, planning and decision-making process. BQA, planning and decision-making process district level. BQB, planning and decision-making process campus level. And all of these are the what you read in your packet are the policies that the ad hoc committee worked with Dr. Ramos several months ago. Any questions on any of those items? Those are all information. That's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
A lot of reading. So we'll have another reading before they're adopted. Anybody have any questions? If not, do I hear a motion?
There's no action.
It's information.
Oh, it's information, I'm sorry. That's right, information. Moving on, consent agenda items. Thank you for reminding me. 4A, action approval of minutes. 4B, consider and possible action to approve the 2025-2026 district improvement plan and campus improvement plans. 4C, action, consider and possible action to add, revise, or delete local policies as offered by TASB Policy Service for consideration and according to the instruction sheet for TASB Localized Policy Manual Update 126. BE local board meetings, BED local board meetings, public participation, CJ local contracted services, CJA local contracted services, background checks and required reporting, CLE local buildings, grounds and equipment management required displays, CQB local technology resources, cybersecurity, CQD local technology resources, artificial intelligence, CSA local facility standards, safety and security, CV local facilities construction, DBD local employment requirements and restrictions, conflict of interest, DEC local compensation and benefits, leaves and absences, DFBB local term contracts, non-renewal, DGBA local personnel management relations, employee complaints or grievances, DH local employee standards of conduct, EEP local instructional arrangements, lesson plans, EFA local instructional resources, instructional materials, EHBAF local special education, video audio monitoring, EIA local academic achievement, grading, progress reports to parents, FA local parent rights and responsibilities, FEF local attendance release time, FFAC local wellness and health services medical treatment, FFB local student welfare crisis intervention, FFF local student welfare student safety, FFG local student welfare child abuse and neglect, FNG local student rights and responsibilities student and parent complaints and grievances, FO local student discipline, GF local public complaints, GKA local community relations conduct on school premises. Then we have 4D action, which we will not consider possible action to approve the annual audit report for August 31st, 2025. This one will be taken out. 4E action, consider possible action to approve budget amendments designated fund balance. 4F action, consider possible action to accept donations to the district. So whoever makes the motion, we need to make motion and omit, say, without 4D.
All right, Madam President, I make a motion for consent agenda items as presented with the exclusion of 4D, which is the removal of consideration of possible action to approve the annual audit report for year ended August 31st, 2025, as presented by Ernest Garza and Company CPA.
Motion made by trustee Gutierrez, is there a second? Seconded motion by trustee Peña. All in favor? Trustee Barrera, trustee Johnson, trustee Gutierrez, trustee Falcon, and trustee Peña, and motion passes. A lot of policies. Moving on, closed meeting. The board will now convene in a closed meeting to discuss items as allowed by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551.071, .072, .073, .074, .076/.089, .082, .0821, .087, .0785, 418.183F, and or Texas Education Code 39.0308. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussions in closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in the open meeting. The time is 7:09 p.m. Está logrado.
I think, well, we're waiting on Dr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, and they're there. Mhm. The time is 7:59 PM and the Board of Trustees of, I'm sorry, don't you read? Premont ISD now reconvenes into open session. Item 7, instruction, students, governance, personnel, business, and support, facilities, maintenance, and operations. 7A, action, consider possible action on items pulled from consent agenda, and we had none. 7B, consider impossible action to adopt the superintendent's evaluation instrument and rubric.
I make a motion to adopt the superintendent's evaluation instrument and present it to the board.
Which is the Lone Star Governance Evaluation Tool. Motion by trustee Falcon and seconded by trustee Barrera. All in favor? Trustee Barrera, trustee Johnson, trustee Gutierrez, trustee Falcon, and trustee Peña. And motion passes. 7C, action, consider possible action to approve revisions to the 25-26 student dress code. There, at this point, at this time, we will not. Nothing on that one? No action? 7D, action, consider possible action regarding appointments, resignations, reassignments, terminations, and changes to contractual or non-contractual positions and personnel. We have none. And 7E, consider possible action to approve contract recommendations for employment of classroom teachers and other professional staff for the 25-26 school year. We have none. So we move down to item number 8. There being no further business on the agenda, this meeting is adjourned at 8:01 PM. Thank you for coming.